So sitting in a comfortable position, I'm sitting on a folded blanket and going to close the eyes down here for several breaths. I'm going to let the hips root down into your mat or the earth, whatever you're sitting on. Allow the spine to feel tall, but without a lot of effort. Soften the jaw, soften the forehead and the eyes. Level your chin, level your shoulders. Maybe that helps you level your hips. And just scanning the body a little bit. Notice if there's tension and tightness anywhere that you notice immediately. I notice it for myself in my belly. I tend to hold my tension there. So I know I want to soften in the area of the belly and the low back. Soften in the face. I tend to hold tension between the eyes and the brows. So I'm conscious of that. So letting that go. And then letting the breath just flow. Find a normal, natural rhythm of breathing. Being very conscious of the inhale and conscious of the exhale. If your hands are on your legs, feel how your legs root down onto the legs or your lap or however they are placed. Feel how the feet and the outer legs settle down as well. Feel yourself in the seated posture. Feel the shape of it, the base and foundation of it. Feel the spaciousness of it coming up through the spine and into the area of the face, crown of the head. Listen for sounds going on around you. And maybe in this video you can hear what's happening here in my backyard. There's a plane coming by. Don't get too many of those these days, which is nice. They're birds chirping. A few cars going by. Sometimes people walk by too, having conversation. Sound of the wind chime. Doing our best here to just become one with our surroundings. Becoming one with each other, with ourselves. Let's bring more attention now to the breath. Feeling that expanding quality through the inhalation. Settling, surrendering quality on the exhalation. Feel yourself arriving and settling. Each inhale helps you to arrive in your body, and each exhale helps you to settle into the body. Arrive as you breathe in, and settle as you breathe out. Let's sit together, sit together for another 5 breaths or so. Let the hands come together at the heart center and bow the head to the heart. Open up the eyes. And then lifting up, let's stretch the arms out to the sides here. Let your fingers reach out. And then turn your fingers down. So you're going to stretch through the inner arm here and out through your forearm and down into the palms. So really stretching the fingers down toward the ground. It makes me feel like my my shoulders lift a little bit. So I'm going to consciously release the shoulders, nothing too intense. Breathing in and breathing out, settling into the hips. Going to flip the palms the other way. Try to make a mudra here. So you're going to bring the first finger and thumb together, stretching out through your other fingers and turning the fingers upwards slightly here. Let's just inhale. Keep the mudra if you can, the Jnana mudra, and then squeeze your elbows back together. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, stretch apart. And exhale, squeeze back together. Good. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale, stretch apart and squeeze back together. Inhale, stretch apart and squeeze. Good. You're going to take a twist to your right. So wrap around, right arm comes behind you, left arm comes across. Let the palm face out here. Take a few breaths. I got to put my glasses on. There's something blinking. Mute. Yeah, let me mute. Okay, did I mute everybody? I think I did. I'm not sure who else is here. So, is that better, Paula? I can only see your picture. We're good?
Yes, that's better.
So we're in our twist, Parivrtta Sukhasana. Let's turn the head to look over the right shoulder. Wrap around the palm. Remember that left palm is facing out here as much as we can. And then ease back around here. We're going to stretch the arms up over the top of the head, just reach nice and long, and then release the arms back down. I'm going to rock back a little bit and switch the cross of my legs. So the other leg is in front or on top. And then taking our twist around to the left. So again, Parivrtta Sukhasana. Feel the rotation of each of your vertebrae as much as you can. Come up tall through the top of the head. And maybe look over your left shoulder. Let your right palm face outward so you're not gripping and pulling yourself too intensely into the twist. Breathing. Noticing. So beautiful in my backyard. So we're going to unwind and come back around here. Good. Let's roll out the shoulders a little bit. And then around in the other direction. I hope those cars aren't too loud out there. These people aren't supposed to be going anywhere. What are they doing? Oh, that feels good. Okay, so up toward the ears, squeezing up toward the ears here, and then let them down slow. So you're going to come down 4, 3, 2, and 1. Do that again. Raise up toward the ears, squeeze, and then let it go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go one more time, lifting up, and then letting it down slowly. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the chin to the chest. Sweep the chin over toward the right and over toward the left. Do that a couple of times, just working out the neck a little bit here. Breathing, flowing the breath. Good. Come back into center. Let's allow the chin to lift up a little bit. And the same thing, you're just going to kind of sweep the chin from side to side. A little more open now, a little more extension through the cervical spine. Good. And then back into center. So let's make a switch onto hands and knees. Okay, I'm going to take off my jacket. If you're working with a blanket and you want that under your knees, have that. Let's see how that works. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Oh yeah, let's move into some cat-cow here, okay? So inhaling and letting the belly drop, and exhaling and rounding, tucking the chin. So inhale into cow pose and exhale into cat. As you inhale and exhale, just letting the spine flow with you, and also feeling for the foundation here. Each of your fingertips, the heels of the hands, the thumb tips, pressing down through your knees, your shins, tops of your feet. Good. Let's come to a neutral spine and add a little bit of side flexion here. So you're going to look over, like over your right shoulder toward your right hip, and then ease to look over the other side. You can let your hips shift from side to side, but I really want you to think about contracting at the waist. So one side waist gets short and the other gets long. And then we'll kind of combine cat-cow and the side bending a little bit. So try rounding and pushing off to one side and coming back and pushing off to the other side and back to the front. So you're just going to make these big circles around toward the back of your mat, pushing your hips off toward the side as you do this. Feel how you're rocking around on your wrists and your knees too, to lubricate those joints. Let's go around in the other direction. So when you're ready, keep breathing and flowing. Just let this be organic and feel good. Easing through and waking up the body. Good. We're going to find our way back into a neutral spine. I want you to bring your right foot forward up between the hands. This might be a good place to use your blocks. And then just come up onto the right knee here. Again, I've got a blanket underneath my knee. So coming up on that right knee, breathing in and breathing out. I'm going to try to turn the palms up here. And then see if I can scooch the elbows a little closer together. So I'm going to open up that space at the shoulder blades and tuck the chin toward the chest. So I don't know about for y'all, but that really, it deepens the stretch I feel in the front of my hip and through the quad when I tuck my chin in like that. All right, we're going to unwrap the arms and bring your left hand down to the ground. Then let the right arm open up. So come into your twist. I'm going to scooch my foot over to the side just a little bit to open this up a bit more. Breathing and opening and extending back. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together now. And then I'm going to come back around. I'm going to bring that right foot back. Drop back to child's pose for just a moment. Breathing deeply into the back and into the hips. Going to inhale and come back up onto all fours and bring your left foot forward. And then the same thing, just walk up onto the top of the leg. Now my arms are the same way I came up on the other, so I'm going to consciously switch and put my other arm in front, turn the palms up, and try to squeeze the elbows a little bit more. It's almost like we're starting to come into a hug around the shoulders or toward eagle arms. Tuck the chin as you're ready. See if that deepens the stretch anywhere. Steady yourself out, breathe. Good. You're gonna come up and unwind. So your right hand comes down to the ground and the left arm's gonna go up. Again, I'm gonna move my front foot over a little bit to give a little bit more space. And then just open this up nice and big, squeezing the shoulder blades toward each other here. Big open twist. Oh, feels really good. And so then when you're ready, we're going to come down and then step forward with your back foot. We're going to come into a wide position here. You can stand on your blanket with your heels on your blanket if that works for you. You might have a block here too. We're going to turn the knees and toes out and try to drop down into a squat and then come up and straighten the legs and fold forward. So you'll drop down, turning your knees and toes out, and then parallel your legs and fold deeper. So inhale, exhale as you squat, inhale as you lift up, and exhale as you fold. We'll do this several more times, taking your own rhythm here. Hey, Dino. Dino's coming. Hey, girl. Inhaling and exhaling. Oh, that feels really good. Into the hips we go. So see if you can sit into your squat. And if this doesn't work for you, then maybe come to the forward fold instead. I'm going to put my elbows inside the knees here, palms together, and just kind of push the legs outward. You could also sit on a block here or something else, a couple extra blankets or pillows if you've got them. So pressing out, I'm going to feel the external rotation working through the outer leg and into the hip here on both sides, trying to sort of even that out and be a little bit musculature about it, or let the muscles fire in the hips. Dino is eating my plants. She's eating my succulents. She's a bad girl. You're a bad girl. All right, let's take another breath here. Really open up across the collarbones and the heart space as much as you can if you're in the squat. If you're in the fold, just allow your upper body to relax into that. Nice stuff. Okay, so we're going to move from here onto our belly, which means that you might want to change the blanket, okay? So the hands will come down. I'm going to step back with my knees or with my feet, and then I'm going to move my blanket out of the way so that it can come down completely flat. And then come up into Sphinx pose. My sister's calling. Hey, I'm filming live on Zoom. I'll call you later. Bye. Got to get her. All right, so we're in Sphinx pose. You can bend your knees if you want to get a little more stretch out of your hip flexors and out of your quads. I've just got my legs stretched out long here. My feet are in the sun and they feel so good. I'm going to press into my forearms and lift up out of the chest a little bit here. I'm reaching through the legs and out through the crown of the head. The neck is long. Just breathing in and out. So we're going to release that down and bring the hands wide outside of the mat. I'm up on my fingertips here. I'm going to raise up a little, squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit, and then tuck the chin down toward the right, looking down the right side of the body. You start to move toward the other side, and then just back and forth a little bit. So Sphinx pose toward the right, Sphinx pose toward the left. Looking down the body to involve the head, neck, and shoulders a little bit here. And just easing side to side, bringing that side length in is nice. All right, then we're gonna come back into the center. I'm gonna stretch the arms out to the sides here. Palms are facing down. I'm gonna pull back through the arms a little bit here. The legs are very powerful, as is the abdominals. I'm gonna reach the arms out to the sides and see if I can bring the arms around in front and reach out through the fingertips toward each of you. Hello. Open up wide, take the arms down by the sides of the body. At this place, you could probably lift up a little higher. And then as you come forward, you'll feel you'll have to dip down a little bit. So let's do that again. Take it out to the sides, pull back, and then come out to the sides and come forward. Good. Let's go one more. We're going to leave the arms back. And here, I want you to lift the legs if you can. You could lift one leg or the other, or both, okay? So firing up all the muscles through the back body, working through the hips, the glutes, breathing, balancing up on the belly here in Shalabhasana, locust pose. Neck is long. Gonna take one more breath. And then release this down. Prepare the shoulders to lift. You're going to come to hands and knees. You could take full plank if you like. And then I want you to do some really slow into cat and into cow. You may need that blanket under your knees here. Exhale, just ease into the rounding. I'm not going to my full range of motion here as I move into cow. I'm going to giving my body a little bit of time to get back into that rounded position here. And as the body loosens up for me, then I can start to add that rounding a little bit more. Start to push into the floor and let the back really push up toward the sky. Tucking the chin. My neck feels a lot better already from the movement that we've done. I hope yours does too. Let's go one more. All right, so make your way into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, and move back into downward dog. At this point, I'm just going to come forward. I want to look at you guys. I want to look at you ladies and see. Yeah, there you are. Nice. So take a few moments to work out your downward dog a little bit. Walk out one heel down, one knee bending, and then the other. Maybe you're shifting your hips a little bit from side to side. Good. All right, so let's go from here and walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees a good bit and then start to rise up. Come all the way up. Stretch up through the arms. Ooh, hello. Open your arms wide. Pull back through the elbows like we did prior. Okay, so we're going to squeeze back and then lift up nice and tall. Squeeze back through the elbows and then lift up. Squeezing back, lifting up. Here's the last one, squeezing together. Good. And then just let the arms release. Now you're going to step your right foot forward, bring the arms out to the sides, and twist toward the right. So I've stepped my right foot forward and I'm twisting to the right, okay? Reaching out through the arms, pressing into the feet, working a little bit of balance here. Let's take one more breath with this. And then ease back to center and step back with that right foot. And just switch. Step forward with your left. Round the feet here. Arms come out. You're going to twist toward your left. Breathe and stretch out nice and long through your arms. Breathing, balancing, unwinding, and stepping back with that front foot. Okay, let's inhale, go up through the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come out halfway. Exhale, fold, and come all the way back up to the top again. Let's do that a couple times. So Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutations, breathing in, stretching up, exhaling, folding. Inhale, come out halfway. Exhale, fold, stretch out, come all the way up to the top, and hands down and into the center. Let's go one more like that. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, relax your head. Come out halfway, big breath in. Exhale, release. Come all the way up to the top, nice and strong. Exhale, hands to the center. All right, so I lied. We're actually going to go one more because we're just going to make it down into downward facing dog. Come out halfway as you breathe. Exhale, release, bend the knees, walk to downward facing dog. Press back through your chest, chest toward the thighs, heels toward the floor. You're going to step forward with your right foot. Lower the back knee down to the ground. Use a blanket if that's better for you. Rise up with your arms coming up into Anjaneyasana. Let's exhale, bring the hands down. The left hand comes to the ground and the right arm goes up to twist. Let's release that. You're going to step forward with your back foot and then step back with your right foot. Okay, so just switching sides. Drop the knee down, bring it up into Anjaneyasana, stretch up. Palms come down through the center. Let's bring that right hand to the ground and the left arm's going to go up into your twist. And close that back down. Step up to the front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. All right, my head's about to get cut off, but that's okay. Where's my head? So inhale and sit into Utkatasana here. Sit back into chair pose. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come out halfway. Exhale, deepen. Let's step back into plank now. Once you get back to plank, take your time. Pause here to hold this intensity for just a little bit. All the muscles working. You can actually take a moment to lift one leg if you like. Firing up the abdominals, all the muscles firing in the arms and the legs. Let's release that leg down and lift the other. This might be too intense and you've come to your knees, and that's fine. You can end up coming to the belly, so that's where we're headed. Drop that back foot down, shift forward slightly, hug your elbows, and lower yourself down to the floor. If you like Sphinx here, be in Sphinx. If you prefer Cobra, have your hands back under your elbows a little bit. Breathing, smiling. Feels good to move. All right, let's make it back to downward facing dog. So release a little bit, but keep your shoulders prepared. Lift to knee plank or full plank and back into downward dog. Good. Let's take a couple breaths. You're going to end up working your way back to the front of the mat. So on an exhale, bend the knees deeply and either step or hop the feet forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Come out into up to the very top and sit into Utkatasana again. You're going to bring the palms together and take a twist to your right. So some of you can tap your left elbow to the top of that right knee or to the outside of it and get a little bit more movement into the twist. For me, I actually like to put my forearm on my thigh and then open that top arm. It sits me up a little higher in the twist. It's better on my back. And so just sitting back deep into your chair and twisting open to your right. Firing up those legs pretty good here. Let's take one more big breath in together. And exhale, close that. Straighten your legs for a moment. Fold in. And come to the top. Stretch all the way up, reach, and then sit into Utkatasana again. Sit into your chair pose and bring those palms together. So do what you did on the other side, but twist to your left. So you can take the right elbow to the outside of the knee and push to come into the twist deeper, or lay the forearm and reach that top arm open. And we've done that a couple of times. Breathing in and breathing out. It's a beautiful day. All right, we're going to close it back down, straighten the legs, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Or take it back to plank. Take your time. Once you get to plank, just hang out there for a couple of breaths. It's my baby over there. Baby Dino. Whew, this feels good. So continue through the vinyasa, or you can take child's pose or downward dog here. We're going to shift forward for the vinyasa, coming through and down to the ground, maybe an up dog if your body's ready for that, or a higher cobra. Pull the shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then release that down. Push up to knee plank or full plank. Shoulders are strong, belly is strong. Back into down dog you go. And breathe. Nice big deep breaths in and out here. Checking time. Good. It's 10:30. We're doing good. So from here, let your feet come just slightly closer together, so they're about hip distance apart. You're gonna lift that right leg up to the sky and pull the knee in. Step it through. We're gonna come to warrior one here. So anchor your back heel down. Can you see that like train track position with my feet too? I'm actually gonna scooch my left foot a little bit further over. I'm gonna come up nice and strong here. As I reach, I'm pushing into that back heel really strongly, bringing the right rib cage a little forward, and the right arm reaches up. Sink into that front knee a little bit. Breathing, grounding, getting steady. Dino's climbing the tree behind me over there. All right, we're going to come down through here. Let's take it through our vinyasa, or you're welcome to rest. So through the vinyasa, we come to plank. We shift forward. Maybe there's an up dog in this for you this morning. Shoulders back. And then coming through, you can take a little extra push up if you like, and back to downward dog. Big breaths. Hey, Dino, I see you up there. All right, so feet walk just slightly closer, for me anyway. And the right leg goes up behind. You can pull that through and step it forward. Take your time here. I know sometimes it's not easy to step through, so get there when you can. And anchor that back heel. So this is what I want you to think about here, is really pushing into that back heel as you rise up. So it gives you a lot of strength from your back body. Coming up into Virabhadrasana 1. Your left rib cage turning slightly forward. Breathing in, stretching up, maybe looking up a little bit. Sink into that front knee. Good. All right, we're going to come down from there and then step forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, deepen your fold. I'm going to cut my head off again here as I come up. I'm sitting into chair pose and sitting deep into chair pose here. Perhaps the hands come down and the heels raise up, and we can come into toe stand. Breathing. You could have something underneath you. You could drop down into that squat where we were earlier. You could skip this and just be in chair pose or forward fold. Good. Level things out. Shoulders and ears and hips zipped up through the belly, and the legs squeezed together here. Good. All right, let's take the hands down and come into forward fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and deepen. Take yourself back into plank. Option to go through your vinyasa here or rest. So you can shift forward, come to upward facing dog or a cobra, and then back you go into your plank. Little extra push up and back to downward facing dog. Big deep breaths. So from down dog, we're going to let that left leg lift up and bend the knee and open up the hip. You're going to look underneath your left arm as you rotate and open.
And then that left knee is going to come all the way up to the center of the chest. And we're going to take that again. So we go up through the leg, open it out, and then bring that knee in toward the center of the chest again. Go one more time. Pick it up, open up the hip, and then the leg comes forward, and we step right up on it. Good. We're going to come into twist here. So leave your right hand down, and your left arm goes up to the sky. Start to stretch your top arm over the top of the head. So reach toward me if you can. Continue to rotate. And then unwind, take that arm all the way back. Let's step up with your back foot and just switch, step back with the other. Okay, so finding our way into our lunge. Breathing in and breathing out. We're gonna go into the twist here. So left hand stays down, right arm goes up. Start to reach that top arm over the top of the head if you can, so reaching toward me. Keep rotating. And then bring that top arm down. You're gonna sweep your front leg all the way up and back into a three-legged dog, and then open up the hip. So bend the knee, and open the hip. Bring that top knee right into the center of the chest, and then go back again, up through the knee. Let's go again. Take it forward right to the center of the chest. Back it goes. And up through the center. You're gonna step onto that left or right foot, round the back heel. So think warrior two here. Come all the way up into warrior two and reverse. And then come all the way down. Step back into plank. Come down through your vinyasa. A cobra, an up dog, skipping this if you prefer. Down you go. We'll go up and back to downward facing dog again. You're gonna end up lifting that left leg. Pull it in, step through, anchor your back heel. Think warrior two here. We're coming up strong into a reverse. And then down we go. Stepping forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen your fold. Come all the way up to the top. And exhale the hands down and into the center. So backing up a little bit so hopefully my head's not cut off again here. I'm gonna do a little bit of balance work. So let's work in tree pose to begin with, and we'll shift into dancer's pose from there, okay? So take a couple of breaths. You can always work with both feet on the ground here if that's a better option. Maybe take the arms out to the sides. Shift your weight into your right foot. Let your left knee bend. Rotate it out to the side. Start to slide the foot up, below the knee, or reach down and grab it, bring it above. Try to keep the hips squared up toward the front short edge of your mat or the long edge, whichever way you're facing. Open up that knee without swinging yourself to the side. Vrikshasana. Arms might lift, gaze can lift, root down and rise up. So option to stay here or come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Let that foot slide down and back behind you. Can you reach back and grab onto the foot and then open up a little bit more by pushing the foot into the hand and allowing yourself to fold a little bit forward. Reach forward, reach long. Open up and give it some expression. See if you can work your way all the way back into tree pose. Boy, that right leg is starting to really feel it. So we give it a couple more breaths. Oop, palms going together and down and into the center. Take an inhale, sweep out and up. And exhale the hands into the center. Let's do tree pose on the other side. So you're going to root into your left leg. Rotate out to the side here. Start to slide up below the knee or above the knee. Consciously squaring up the hips, but opening up through that right leg. Arms go out to the sides. Feeling tall, feeling rooted, grounded, connected. Right, so you can stay here or try moving into dancer's pose. Let that foot go, grab it behind you, push the foot into the hand, and start to fold a little bit forward. Good. Reaching to me. I like to make a mudra here. I didn't do it on the other side, but I'm going to do it here. First finger and thumb together, reaching nice and long. Natarajasana. Work our way back up, maybe back up into tree pose. Super grounding work here. Jaw is soft, forehead is soft, breath is rich. Good. You can let that go. Widen the feet, grab onto your opposite elbows. If this works for you, you can come into forward fold. Tuck the chin and just hang out a little bit here. Maybe a little sway. So good. All right, so let's put the hands down. Inhale, come out halfway. Hey, baby girl. Walk yourself back to downward facing dog. So from here, I want to move into wild thing, perhaps. Okay, there are definitely options for not doing wild thing. I would say probably doing maybe a side plank with the knee down would be a really good option to start to work into. You could also take the foot forward and do a twist where you're opening up back. Okay, so we did that earlier. If you're moving toward full wild thing, you move from downward dog, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and start to rotate toward the side and drop that foot down in control. Lift up through the hips and reach back through the top arm. So you kind of go through a side plank and then into downward facing dog. All right, so let's change sides. Do what you did on the other side. You move my blanket. So remember, you've got options of being on your knee and opening up into a side plank, letting it open back, or that foot forward and coming into the opening that way. Or full wild pose, wild thing. Left leg lifts, the knee bends, we open up the hip, rotate onto the side of the foot, drop that foot down, and lift your hips and stretch back through your top arm. Feels fabulous. And then coming back through, kind of back through a side plank and back to downward facing dog. And then maybe coming to your knees and into child's pose, or if you want to go through a final vinyasa here, take that, and we'll end up in child's pose for several rounds of breath. Okay, so down we go. Allow your breath to be very full into your low back and mid back. Think of puffing the back body in order to pacify the kidney area and the adrenals. Just letting that breath really fill into the low and mid back areas and out into the sides. So
pull that breath in really deep, puffing through your back and exhaling, letting yourself surrender and settle toward the floor. We go about 3 more breaths. And then let's come up from there and come around into a seated position. So I'm going to sit up on my blanket for this. See how that feels for you. I want to bring the legs into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. I'm going to put the soles of the feet together. Put on my glasses, maybe I can see y'all a little bit. Hey. So let's take a moment to bring the hands to the knees. You can push down on the knees here. What I actually like is my hands behind me, and I'll press down into the hands and then press the knees down on their own. So rather than pushing with the hands, I'm using the outer legs to move the knees down closer to the floor. So you can feel the buttock muscles working and those outer seams of the legs. The feet kind of come apart too. It's like your feet open up like a book. Good. Easing down and away from that. Bring the hands back around here. So when I come into Janu Sirsasana, which is head to knee pose, you're going to keep your right leg straight and your left knee stays bent. So try not to rotate too far to the side. Instead, pull your right hip and leg back a little bit so you're more squared to the front of your mat. And then begin to twist a little bit. So you're going to bring your left hand toward the outside of the right leg and powerful through the leg and the foot. I'm going to keep my right hand back behind me and start to slide down into a twist here, or a fold. It's a little bit of a twist and a fold. I can easily reach the outside of the foot, so I'm going to flip my hand from facing out to grabbing the outside of the foot and pulling down into that a little bit deeper. At that point, I might take my other hand and wrap it around and then change the hand hold here. Breathing in and lengthening, exhaling and folding. So Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. We want to be really long in the front body and the back. Ungrip your face, your jaw. When we're ready to come out, use the hands on the leg, like push down into the leg to root as well as to just use your upper body strength and not wreck your back. So let's change, okay? We're going to straighten that left leg out and then bend the right knee. Try not to be turned off toward the corner, but rather pull your left hip back a little bit so that it squares you up. You're going to twist a little, put your right hand toward the outside of your leg, and your left hand comes behind you, and then just slide down into your fold a little bit more. You might find that you could easily reach the foot, and then you can rotate to grab the foot. We'll give ourselves a little time to just ease into this. Pulling a little bit deeper maybe. At that point, the back arm can come around. We can change our hand hold, grab onto the foot and fold in. Inhaling for length and exhaling to fold. Nice and long through the front body, through the back body. Ready to come out, same as before. You're going to push down into the hands into the leg to ground and just use your upper body strength more. So let's straighten both legs out here. And then try a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So we'll go up tall through the arms. Bring the arms down and the hands beside your hips or behind you a little. Start that fold like we did prior. So it keeps you more long and open in your front body as you go forward. And then you can choose to keep your hands back or wrap your hands around. You might grab onto the feet or the ankles. And then allow yourself to fold in there just a little bit deeper. Keep lengthening the front body as you fold over the legs. Smooth, deep breaths. Let your breath find the resistive places in your body. So when we're ready to come out, same thing. We're going to use the hands to push into the legs, to ground, as well as just take that pressure off the back and use the upper body strength instead. Nice. Okay, so let's go down to our backs. Okay, I'm actually going to turn my mat sideways and then I'll come on my back. So go ahead and take your blanket under your head if you want it. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Down we go. Oh, that feels really good. So depending on how your back feels from the forward folding, you can do some easy windshield wipers. You might feel like you want to pull the knees into the chest and spin around a little bit. You might even want to just be still. So kind of let that tension and tightness go from the low back here. Taking several breaths to work out whatever you have going on in there. If anything, if you feel pretty good and nothing's tender in the back, then we're going to actually move into just a little bit of core work here. So you can go into that as soon as you want to. You're going to have the hands interlaced behind the back of the head, and inhale and open up the elbows. And then exhale, pull the navel to the spine and start to curl up. And then we'll release that down. We're just going to take like 10 of these, okay? Exhale, curl up. Inhale, release down. Open your elbows wide. Exhale, curl up. And release. Curl up. And down, inhaling. Exhale, curl up. Inhale down, press your elbows open. Exhale, curl up, empty the breath. We got a few more. Inhaling down and exhaling up. Let's do two more because I forgot to count. Exhale, curl up. And then down we go. That feels so good. So we've pretty much done everything we need to do. Maybe just how about this? Let's pull the knee into the chest, one of the knees, it doesn't matter which, and stretch that leg up. We've already gotten that stretch from Paschimottanasana, but just to get it here on the back might feel really good. And then releasing that one, let's do the other one. Pull in, straighten the leg up. We'll let that one go. So option to maybe take a bridge pose here. Let me see what time it is. I'm gonna grab my jacket before I lie down all the way. So if you're doing a bridge pose, you want to take that thick blanket out from underneath your head. If there's any other posture that you want to work into before we start to come down for Shavasana, do that. Get warm and cozy. I'm going to set myself up for this so that I can talk y'all into Shavasana. Okay, so wait a little bit to me. See what you guys are doing out there. Oh, legs up, nice. Ooh, a plow pose, excellent. Good. Take your time wherever you are. You're going to work your way into Shavasana. It got chilly. The cloud covered the sun, and it really got cold here all of a sudden. All right, so down you go on your back, head on your blankie if you want it. Support your legs in any way, and prepare yourself to move into Shavasana. So it's 10:56 right now. So as we move into Shavasana, I'll do this the way I've done it the last few times, and that is to just turn the video off when it gets to be 11 o'clock, and y'all just stay in Shavasana as long as you are able to do that. It's really amazing to be able to have that time. So settling your body down, loosen up the jaw, soften the space between your eyes. Let the eyes move back into their sockets. Imagine the temples becoming rounder and deeper here. The canals of the ears deepen. The jaw and the tongue can release again. And you start to follow the breath now. Follow the breath in through the nose, down through the throat, and out through the length of your arms. Relax the arm bones down, heavy into the mat, into the earth. Let the tissues soften. Bring your awareness toward the heart space. Soften around the heart. Watch the breath come in through the nose, down through the throat, all the way down the spine to the hips. Let the hips settle, the leg bones settle. Letting go all the way out through the toes. Continue to settle all your bones. Settle the spine. Settle the organs. Feel that they can all find their space, their comfortable space and place within the body. Breath is just flowing now, taking you into a place of relaxation, letting go. So nice to connect with all of you this way. Gives us a little bit of normalcy, I think, to be able to practice together. And someday soon we'll be back in the studio together. So I want to read to you something someone sent me today. It says, "We are billions of caterpillars forced into our cocoons, being called on to change from the inside out, to metamorphosize, to rest and reflect and sprout wings." I love you all. Namaste, and enjoy your Shavasana and the rest of your day.